Junk food is everywhere. From crispy potato chips and sugary sodas to cheeseburgers and chocolate bars, it's a part of everyday life for millions, if not billions, of people worldwide. It's sold in vending machines, fast food chains, convenience stores, and even supermarkets, right next to healthier alternatives. It's often cheaper, quicker, and more accessible than cooking a homemade meal. But despite its overwhelming popularity, we call it junk food. That word, junk, implies that it's worthless, unhealthy, or even harmful. But if that's the case, why do people love it so much? Why does it have such an undeniable appeal? And more importantly, does it really deserve to be labeled as junk? Let's break it all down right here on History of Simple Things. The phrase junk food has been around for decades. It was first widely used in the early 1970s when nutritionists and health experts started warning people about the dangers of processed, high-calorie foods that lacked essential nutrients. The term itself suggests that these foods provide little to no value, just like actual junk that clutters a home or a landfill. The idea was simple. Eating too much of this food could lead to obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems. It was a way to warn the public about the potential dangers of consuming too much sugar, fat, and salt. Over time, the label stuck. Today, we instinctively refer to things like candy, fast food, and soda as junk food, without even thinking twice about it. But here's the thing. People have always loved these kinds of foods. In fact, the history of junk food goes way back, long before modern industrial food production. Ancient civilizations enjoyed deep-fried treats, honey-drenched pastries, and salted meats. The difference today is that modern food processing has made these foods even more convenient, widely available, and in many cases, more addictive. So why do people love junk food so much? The answer lies in our brains. Our taste buds are naturally wired to crave three things: sugar, fat, and salt. These ingredients were rare in the diets of our ancestors, so when they found a source of them, like honey or fatty meat, the brain would trigger a pleasure response. This ensured survival, because these foods provided high amounts of energy. Fast forward to today, and that same craving mechanism still exists, except now we have unlimited access to processed foods loaded with sugar, fat, and salt. But it goes deeper than that. Junk food is designed to be addictive. Scientists and food manufacturers work to create the perfect bite, a combination of crunch, softness, saltiness, and sweetness that keeps people wanting more. This is sometimes called the Bliss point, a term coined by food scientist Howard Moskowitz. The idea is to hit the perfect balance of flavors so that the brain gets maximum pleasure but never feels satisfied enough to stop eating. That's why you can easily eat an entire bag of chips without realizing it, or why just one bite of a chocolate bar makes you want more. Junk food isn't just about taste, it's also deeply social and cultural. From childhood, many people associate junk food with positive emotions. Birthday parties with cake and ice cream, family movie nights with popcorn, or road trips with drive-through burgers. These experiences create emotional connections with junk food. Many people don't just eat it because they're hungry. They eat it because it brings back memories, provides comfort, or feels like a treat. In addition, junk food is often tied to convenience and affordability. Fast food is often the go-to option for people with busy schedules, students on a budget, or families looking for a quick and cheap meal. In many parts of the world, processed food is actually cheaper than fresh, healthy food. This isn't just by accident. Government subsidies, mass production, and long shelf life make processed foods more cost-effective for both producers and consumers. Unfortunately, this means that many people rely on junk food not just as a treat, but as a regular part of their diet. Here's a controversial thought. Should all junk food really be considered junk? The term itself is misleading because not all processed foods are equally bad. Some fast food items have high protein content, others provide essential vitamins and minerals, and some snacks like dark chocolate or nuts can actually be beneficial in moderation. The problem is when junk food replaces whole nutritious meals in a person's diet. Additionally, food trends have evolved. Many fast food chains and snack companies now offer healthier junk food alternatives, such as baked chips, plant-based burgers, or lower sugar sodas. While they're still processed, they can be a step up from the traditional high-fat, high-sugar options. In some ways, the definition of junk food is starting to blur. At the end of the day, it's all about balance. Junk food, when eaten occasionally and in moderation, isn't necessarily harmful. The problem arises when it becomes the dominant part of a diet, replacing fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. The key is understanding portion sizes, making informed choices, and not relying on junk food for daily nutrition. It's also important to recognize the role of food marketing. Companies spend billions of dollars promoting junk food using bright packaging, catchy slogans, and celebrity endorsements to make their products look fun and irresistible. Being aware of these strategies can help people make smarter choices about what they eat. So, why do we call it junk food if so many people love it? The answer is a mix of history, psychology, and nutrition science. The term was created to highlight the potential dangers of overconsumption, but it doesn't mean that people will stop loving these foods anytime soon. The combination of taste, convenience, cultural significance, and even emotional attachment makes junk food hard to resist. But just because something is labeled as junk doesn't mean it has no place in our lives. The key is to enjoy it responsibly, be mindful of portion sizes, and balance it with nutrient-rich foods. After all, food should be enjoyable, and every once in a while, indulging in a favorite snack isn't the worst thing in the world. So next time you reach for a bag of chips or a chocolate bar, ask yourself, are you eating it because you truly enjoy it or just out of habit? The answer might just change the way you look at junk food. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.